Welcome back. So imagine you being a bank and then all of a sudden you decide, not quite as lucrative or as a promising career as I thought. So you move on to what? Our next guest, believe it or not, even despite of a very well-trained career in as far as banking is concerned and being a part of it, decided to become a wedding planner and a bridal consultant. She's here with us, Sue Morioke. Welcome to the Power Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
This is the question I want to ask.
Okay.
Like especially now, banking seems to be, if you tell somebody, my name is Sue Morioke, I'm a banker. Oh wow, it's more or less like one of the fastest rising careers we have in the country.
Yes.
Why didn't you stick to it?
I guess because I discovered something else about myself. I discovered I was a great marketer. Yes,
right.
I was marketing the bank products and I was doing very well.
Yes.
I won the regional award in the Midwest. And I was always the top in terms of bank products, selling bank products in the States. And I discovered, wow, I have this, I could market. So when the wedding consultancy course came my way, and I was having a challenge planning my wedding here, I decided to look at the course, and I did it, and I shifted my marketing skills to wedding. And
so you did the course because you're thinking, okay, I'm going to plan my own wedding. Let me just find out what it's all about.
Yes.
Or you were thinking at that time to change your career?
No, I wasn't thinking of changing my career. I was living in the States, and I was trying to plan my wedding here, and I couldn't get somebody to help me. So I was introduced to the course by somebody who was helping me plan my wedding there.
Right.
And when I went to the course, I thought, wow, this is exciting.
Right.
So I just did it, not really knowing what I wanted to do with the course. So when I came back to Kenya, and with my marketing, with my banking and my marketing experience, I decided, why don't I do this? And I did it. It was like by default. If you
I see. So how long were you a banker? Which bank was it that you were working for?
Where in the States?
Yes,
I was in Norwest Bank. I was in First Bank. That's in the States. And then I worked with Cooperative Bank when I was doing my internships. When I was in the middle of college, I'd come and do internships, and then I'd go back and come.
How many years?
Oh, that was in 80-something. In the 80s.
You were in the banking industry?
Yeah, I was. And it is something that I really enjoyed. Yeah, it was about, that time you're doing it because it was a career. It was what Dad expected you to do.
I know.
To be in an office setting.
Then that's one of your wedding consultants like...
It took him a while. I know it took him a while for me to explain to him what I do. I kept having to tell him over and over again what I'm doing right now because he couldn't quite get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before we get into wedding planning, when you look at the banking industry now, do you say,
no,
you don't?
No regrets. No regrets.
That's a powerful statement. We'll come back to that shortly.
Oh, no regrets.
So talk about, I've heard of a wedding planner and I've heard of a bridal consultant.
A wedding planner, bridal consultant.
Okay,
a wedding planner is somebody who can plan events, wedding and events.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And a bridal consultant, what I've been trained in is somebody who can run a bridal shop. That's the difference of the qualifications I have. So if you have a bridal shop, selling a wedding dress is not the way you sell this kind of a dress. A wedding dress costs what? 40, 50, 60,000?
That's right, yes.
So you need to understand how to sell it. It's not just something somebody walks in and buys.
It's nice.
No. You have to understand the psychology of a bride and a groom. You have to know how to sell it. You have to know how to explain to them. You have to know how to pick the dress and close the deal and close it quickly. So that's what I've been trained in.
Is that inclusive of a month's? Is that part of the bridal sort of?
No, it isn't.
So
they are separate.
Absolutely.
They are totally separate.
And you sell them differently?
Yes, because one is dealing on how to sell a product. The other one is dealing on how to provide a service.
I see.
Yeah, so that's the difference.
So let me ask. So if you've got a man there who also is a wedding suit different from the usual office kind of suit? And would you say that differently?
Yes, it should be. It should be. It's a special day. It's not an office occasion. It's a very special day. It's a significant day. You're transiting from one life to the other. Surely you can't go there just like.
Here's the interesting thing about you, Sue, is the fact that when you did that first course, then everything just kind of opened
up,
and you did many courses.
Exactly.
Tell us about that experience and
I think what happened, Jimmy, is when I did the course, like I told you, I didn't know what I was doing it for. I think I was a young girl, excited, and when you live in the States, education is just something that everybody does, whether you're...
It's accessible.
Yeah, you just have to train and train and train, and that's what happened where I was working. So when I came back to Kenya, I looked at the weddings, situation, and we were about 30 years apart, and I thought, what? And because
that
I
was
had...
a good thing for you.
It was good for me.
Yeah,
and I thought, am I going to do banking, or am I going to provide a service and a product that is so much needed?
In this country,
so I decided, let me go that way. And for me, life has never been the same again. It's
Absolutely.
just been awesome.
How bad were we when you came back?
We are still not yet there.
That's not good.
Not still there, because there's a lot of education that has to be done. There's a lot of educating, because what we are seeing here is people doing weddings that that they want to reflect the Western weddings.
Yes.
But when we go through the course, we're able to understand the history. Where did these things come from? Where did the tents come from? Where did the cakes come from? I believe when your grandmother got married,
yes.
she never had a cake. Did she have a cake?
No.
Did she have a tent? No. Did she have flowers? I don't think...
Like my mom. Mom, did she have a cake? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
So I think as we're getting more and more professional, it's important to have some knowledge of what we're doing things. We just don't do things because they're being done. And what the course does, it helps us to go back and understand where these things are coming from. And then here we have our culture, and then we decide what are we picking.
Hey, nice.
But right now we don't have that. People just pick, and then it comes and clashes with what we have. And what we have here is beautiful. We have a fantastic culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why it's good to have knowledge of both. So you can, they say knowledge is power. Right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. But here's unfortunate. So how many of you have gone through a course like that? I have never heard of a course in this country, and call me ignorant in talking in this regard.
No, it's okay.
I've never heard of a course, a bridal consultancy course as extensive as what you've gone through.
We have 200. Who have gone through the course since
in this country?
Yes, 207. What has happened is we haven't done marketing.
Exactly.
Because we are putting structures. We are laying structures in place. We are only about 4 years old, and we want to really have a proper foundation. Mm-hmm. When I started the course, I just also tested it. I just wanted to see will Kenyans respond. I put a small classified in the Daily Nation, really tiny, only pay 4,000. Yeah. Because I was like, I didn't know whether this thing would work. And believe me, Jimmy, the first 1 hour I got 20 phone calls. And I was like, whoa, this thing is needed. And you know why? Because people are suffering when they're using these committees and they don't know how to say it.
Committees, that's a good one. By the way, listen, you can come in and ask questions. And I know it being a Friday and tomorrow is Saturday, weddings happen on, and
yeah.
Even last minute phone calls can work if you have a question to ask. Or a comment to give on this program pertaining to our discussion right now. We're talking about bridal consulting, vis-a-vis wedding planning. The number is on your screen right now, 0713 600 930. Call, ask a question. Especially now, if you have a wedding tomorrow, you need to call and ask a question now, or get details about this company that we're about to talk about. What is the name of the company?
Weddings Beautiful, East and Central Africa.
It's a company that deals with
the training. We have two companies.
Right.
We have the Weddings Beautiful East and Central Africa is a franchise from Weddings Beautiful Worldwide USA, where they've given us the franchise for East and Central Africa. We have been commissioned to start 21 training centers in the whole of East and Central Africa. We started in Kenya. We're already in Uganda. Hopefully this year we'll be in Rwanda, and so on and so forth. So that's what we are doing. The other one is Divine Weddings. Divine Weddings is where we do the actual planning ourselves. We do that to help our students and also, to plan weddings and events. So those are the two things that we do.
Absolutely.
So we are trainers.
Wow.
And we also do. So we are very relevant, because we know exactly what's happening on the ground, and we come back and do it in class. So our students really get the best of both worlds.
I'm since the last time I think I got married 13 years ago. Yay. They said loudly, yay. All right. I remember a section before I talk about that section though, I'm going to talk about let me take a phone call now. Good morning. You see, I know you want to ask a question. You have a question or comment? Welcome to the Power Breakfast Show. Hello.
Okay, what is the topic of this matter?
Okay, it's on your screen. It's called Bridal Consulting. Are you getting married tomorrow?
Yes.
You're getting married tomorrow. You have a question to ask a consultant?
Yes, I have to that matter. I've gone to London.
You're calling from where?
Yes, I was from London. I'm an activist from Kenya.
Oh,
you're from London. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to ask that madam.
Yes.
Yeah,
what's the question?
What state was she?
Oh, what state? Do you want to work with her? You want to know which state she was in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know if that's relevant. So which state were you in?
I was in Texas.
Texas. She was in Texas.
In the Midwest.
Okay, my brother is there. So my brother is in that university.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So you're okay. You don't need any wedding problems to be solved, do you?
Oh dear.
Good one. Okay. Right. So there's something called wedding committees.
Mm-hmm.
Does that clash?
Yes, it does. Actually, what is happening is the wedding planner is here to replace the committees.
Okay, you say that very boldly.
Yes.
Some people might not.
It may not come out well, but what we do as planners, like now you're getting married, I will work with you, as much as you allow me to work. And how the committee comes in is we give them duties, because we have about 32 duties that we need to give out, and instead of hiring, that is where your friends come in.
Yes.
Like ushering, sitting the VIPs, checking on other things. There's so many duties you can give the committee as opposed to them planning your wedding. Is it possible for 16 people to plan your wedding?
Well, I'll give you my experience.
Yeah, tell me.
I was very fortunate to have a very small committee.
Yes.
And we had 3 meetings only. The first one was to meet, and they said, okay, you're the member of the committee, you handle this, you handle this, you handle this. The second one was say, okay, I've gotten this, we need to make payments, and the third was, we are done.
See?
3. I was kind of lucky.
Yeah.
So where is the clash though? So do you work with the committee and you say, look, because obviously family needs to recognize family, so you be there. How does it work?
Well, we do work with the committees, but not very extensively, because what does a committee do, Jimmy? Just even think about it.
Yeah,
what do they do? They come in and they tell you can get this caterer here, you can get the florist here, you can do this. I mean, in terms of really getting what you want, because a wedding is supposed to represent you. I need to come to your wedding and see you in the wedding, your colors, your personality, your tricks.
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm supposed to see. And that's why if you go to the States, all weddings are different. There's not one wedding you go to and it's the same, but our weddings, they are all the same.
That's true. I saw that wedding. I want a wedding like that.
I want like that. But that's not what weddings are about.
Hold on to that. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Power Breakfast. You have a question or comment? Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I wanted to find out from the bridal consultant. Does she have a company here? And so what's the name of the company?
Okay. Good question. We'll just have to repeat that again. So
it's Divine Weddings. We're in Chester House, Koinange Street, first floor. Divine Weddings, yeah.
And let's talk about the school. So tell us more about the school. How long is the course?
The course is 5 months. It's a part-time course. You can do it morning 2 days a week, afternoon, 3 days, evening,
Yes.
and Saturday mornings.
Absolutely.
Oh, now we're also having Saturday afternoon classes.
Absolutely. So here's a question.
Yes.
So you left banking to do this.
Yeah.
How much, and I know professional services, are needed. No, they are needed. So how much does one make? How much can one make as a wedding
Well, we take 10 to 20% of the total budget of whatever event you have. So if you have a wedding that say it's 800,000, we'll collect 80,000 from that. Now we don't collect commissions from other service providers.
Right.
That's very unprofessional.
Yes.
We just work with you.
I see.
And that's why we charge that amount. So once we get what we're getting from you, we don't need to go and get it from anybody else. So that way you have utmost loyalty when you use a wedding planner. And the fact that when we go to select other service providers, we have you at heart, not them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a myth.
Okay.
I don't know if... Okay, here's a myth.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
it's okay.
The wedding is the day for the bride.
No.
Okay, that's so it's her day, it's her big day, so don't mess it.
Don't mess it.
So meaning what? The guy kind of sits back
Jimmy, and I think if there's a campaign no. I think that's a myth. It's something that needs to be really demystified. That's something we really need to cancel as a society. It's something that we need to stop and think. Let's go back to when we were getting married in our old days.
Yes.
How did the weddings take place? Who took the leadership role?
Right.
It was the man.
Right.
The lady would be with her aunties. She'd be preparing her. Even if you go to Tanzania, the same thing. The lady's being prepared. She's being put makeup. Like even in the Bible, Queen Esther, she was being prepared and all that stuff. And then the guy comes and takes her. The Bible says the man will leave his home and come for the wife and go with that. What we are seeing now is the minute the lady is proposed to, she runs off in different directions. And you know, in a wedding, 75% of the duties belong to a man. 75% of the duties that are done in the wedding.
Experience. That's true.
Yes.
That's very true.
So how does a person who only has 24% running around in different directions planning the wedding? And that's why we say we don't plan weddings without the groom. Because how are we going to make decisions? He has to be there. It is him who proposed.
Yes. True. No, very true.
He proposed.
Yes.
So why would he propose and then the lady goes to start preparing the house he's been taken to? No. Let him do the work. And it's not that there's any, I'm saying anything. What I'm saying is that he needs to take the leadership role. Because if he doesn't, it does affect the marriage life later.
It does.
It does.
It does.
It?
That's
and I know you said when you planned your wedding, you took the leadership role.
It does. Yeah, we kind of work
together.
Not kind of. We actually did work together, and it does reflect later on in terms of your marriage, how you communicate, how you sort out your finances. Because you sit down and plan, okay, now, you know. And for me, one of the things that was scary is pre-wedding parties. Because people will say, so we contributed so much and this is what you've done, you know, that kind of thing. So
and then you know, Jimmy, like when you think about it, this is a project that's involving so much money.
Yes.
You know, we're talking about 500, 1 million, whatever.
That's right.
Why do you want to leave that project to one person? You know, you love this person, you have proposed to her because you love her. Why do you want to leave it to her to plan alone? You go to this town and you see how those brides look so tired. When they're walking down the aisle there, you know, you're always telling them, because the lady is extremely exhausted because she's been doing this thing on her own, and it's not her part to do it. The guy's honestly doing most of the things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you merge two worlds together, okay, we've got a phone call before I ask this question. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Power Breakfast. So you have a question or comment?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I want to know the fee of the use of that course.
The what?
The fee.
The fee of okay, good one.
Yeah,
okay.
Good, yeah.
The fee for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good question.
We could do
That's a future wedding plan right there.
Yeah, please.
So how much does it cost?
It's 55,000
for the 5 months. For the 5 months.
Yes.
Broken down differently.
Yeah, we have a payment plan. Obviously, we'd like you to pay in full, but we have a payment plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So since you started the course, how many students have you churned out from your college?
I think last year we had finalized about 100 graduates who graduated. We have another probably 30 in class, and we still have others out there who have not completed the course. If I add them up, they come to close to 200.
And it's a well-rounded course where you talk about how you manage your business as well.
We teach you how to start a wedding consultancy business from scratch. So a lot of the topics cover business, you know,
right.
And we find that most of the people who come to our courses are already business people, and they have said this course has helped them streamline the other businesses they have, because we teach about time management, how to start your own business. We teach you how to think, management skills, PR, customer service, etiquette. You know, a lot of probably about a quarter, almost half of the course is about business, and then after that we tackle the wedding class, the wedding aspect.
Has your banking expertise helped you in this?
Absolutely, it has. I think in terms of the corporate world, it helped me, so that when I'm dealing with these people, I'm able to download the experiences I had, and also having gotten it overseas and teaching a course that is doing so well overseas, I'm able to bridge the gap. And bring hope to the students.
Is it easy to merge two worlds together? Like you said, we've got a beautiful culture here.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, when I go, especially for, you know, I'm Kikuyu, and you know how beautiful, you know, that whole ceremony is.
Yes.
But you've got people who, you know, want to bring those two cultures together. Does it work? And I know what you're doing here, because I've seen one that was crazy. Oh my goodness.
I wish we could just take our own. You know, honestly, having been through both worlds and stayed in both worlds and teaching that particular course, I wish Kenyans would realize how we have such a rich culture and embrace our culture and have our weddings based on our cultures, and take the good, you know, the good things that are there, but not everything.
I see.
You know, not everything is good, and even they don't do our weddings. Why do we have to do weddings exam? You know what I'm saying?
I see.
So we can, if you have a Kamba wedding, I mean, there are so many beautiful things you can do with that culture. The food is excellent. The favors, the gifts you can give to your guests. You can get the beadworks, and I mean, there's just lovely things you can do with every culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Final things before you wind up. And she's going to do this for free.
Well, am I?
No, you'll invoice me. The usual mistakes that people do in terms of planning a wedding. Just the usual ones that everyone does.
One, they start to plan late. They want to plan a wedding 3-4 months before. That is just not. That's why we have the photocopy weddings. You need to take 9 to 12 months to plan a good, reasonable, stress-free, debt-free wedding.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Okay. Before I ask her the last question. Hi, welcome to the Pop Breakfast. You have a question or comment?
Yeah, I like to ask a question.
Yes. You want to turn down the volume on your TV, please? I can't hear you very well. Oh, good. Okay. Turn down the volume on your TV, mommy. What's your question? Okay. So, I know you had a burning question, but I wanted you to turn down the volume on your TV so I could hear you well. If you want to call, you can call again. Oh, there you are. Yes. You'd like to ask?
To get the course.
The course.
You'd like to ask what?
How they can do the course.
How they grade the course.
Yeah.
Ah, good one.
Grade.
How do you grade it? How do you,
in terms of?
Does anyone who come in come out successful?
No, they have to do an entrance exam. I'm not sure if I understand the question right.
Yeah.
But you have to do an entrance exam in order to qualify, and then you do the course. We do have our marking scheme, our grade, the way we grade, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So
are you strict in terms of the quality?
Yeah, we facilitate a program from the States. So we don't prepare the material here. Everything comes from overseas.
Right.
So we
just integrate it into our own culture. Yeah. And in terms of, I don't know if this is a valid question. I'm trying to also understand what she's saying. What qualifies a good student who's done well in your course?
I think passion is a big thing. Yeah, because people have come in. The reason why we introduced the entrance exam is because we realize a lot of people are coming because they think wedding is exciting.
Yes.
And you see, that's not what you need, especially if you are getting married. You need somebody who is serious, focused, has integrity, maturity, and can understand what you're going through. Because remember when you're getting married, Jimmy, there was the in-laws to deal with, the committee, finances, and all the things that are going on. All of them are taking place at once. You really need a neutral person who's got a head over their shoulders. And that's why for us, it's important the kind of person we produce. They must have a passion, because it's very difficult to plan a wedding. It's not easy.
Right.
So you can't go into this career because you love the money. Yes, the money is there, but you need to go there realizing that you're going to help two individuals walk down the aisle, and it is your responsibility to make sure that they walk down debt-free and stress-free. That is your mission.
Powerful.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to contact you, I know you've got many phone number, which we'll give it to you later. For me right now, key is email address. Is there an email?
Info at weddingsbeautifulafrica.com.
Info at weddingsbeautifulafrica.com.
Yeah, and I hope we'll be able to do your anniversary.
That's the invoice. That's the invoice. It's been a pleasure to have you. Actually,
I think we need to do that. What is it? How many now?
13 now.
Oh, good. So maybe we can do 15.
Yeah, 15 is good.
Yeah, 15. Yeah,
okay.
just to say.
On me, and she did. So thank you once again. It's been a pleasure to have you in the show. Okay. So info at weddingsbeautifulafrica.com. Info at weddingsbeautifulafrica.com. If you want any info, later on I'll give you her phone number so you can call her. And I know some of you are kind of saying I need to talk to her a bit. Yeah. So you can do that. You're watching the Power Breakfast Show. Johnson Mokazi is actually planning a wedding.
Good. Where is he?
So stay with us. We'll be right back. Not to discuss his wedding, but the news. We'll be right back.